So here we are back, the underneath of the 55 plate cab. You know, I took all the panels off underneath just to check it out, you know, because they have got the plastic panels on and it can hide a multitude of sins. As you can see, this one is absolutely, you know, they normally rust up here, nothing. This back panel is normally, cross member is terrible for rotting on cabs. Again, a few little scabs, but nothing. Again, very light surface rust. I will clean this up properly, but I wanted to show it in its kind of raw state really of how it came in. Now the exhaust's off at the moment because the bracket had broke, so that's been fixed. Now ready to go back on. So now to the I won't say the kick in the teeth, but the shock was when I stripped the back end off. I noticed not only was the rear panel got a dent in it, as in that, which was printed on the back panel, which is why I had to have a new one. I noticed that the crossmem, the tie bar at the back was sitting strange, and there's a bit of damage here. So didn't think nothing of it. I picked up, I've got another one in stock. It was in as good a condition as the rest of the car. But I also noticed this has got one non-genuine shock on it, and that was it. So I hadn't done a HPI test check on it, so I did that, and madly the car came back as a category D, which is damaged repairable with possible structural damage. Now this car, that was in 2015. Even in 2015, I can't understand, after, you know, 35 years plus in the motor trade in doing bodywork and accident repair damage. In fact, before I got into Smarts, that's all I did. I was a accident repair specialist and body shop specialist. So I can't understand why the car was written off for, you know, a rear damper and a crossmem and a couple of panels. But I suppose it would have been around 1,000, you know, even, you know, 800 quid, something like that, to do that job properly. They've now recategorised all the damaged insurance loss damages, and the new one, I believe is it NRS, which means that there's no structural damage, or you know, which is the same as Cat D. There's another one now which is Class X, which is literally just panel damage and, you know, parts, nothing else, no structural at all. This car has no structural damage at all, nothing. Not one little bit. You know, it is as straight as a pin. The only damage being on the rear subframe is this bracket's got a little bit of a kink where the rear panel, you know, the cross member, the bumper in effect was, as you can see. And that's it. Nothing else. I've gone over it. That was one of the other reasons why I took every panel off, including the front end, to check that there's absolutely guaranteed no structural damage to this car. It is as good as it gets. You know, look at the brake pipes. Everything on this car is really in such good condition for its year. I will detail it up. It will be put up for sale. Hopefully it won't put anyone off. Yeah, you'll be struggling to find another 55 plate cab in this condition underneath and in general. Anyway, if it doesn't sell, I will keep it. I've got another cab that is mine, which I used to tow behind my motorhome, and it's not as in good condition as this, so if it hurts the price too much, I'll just keep it, because you just don't find them in this condition anymore, with or without the Cat D. As I say, Cat D is damage repairable. It's basically an uneconomical repair, and it normally only has to get to, I think it's 60% of the value of the car, and they'll write it off, irrespective of whether it's a wing, the smallest, you know. Obviously, if it was a brand new car, to get 60% of its value, it'd be a lot. But as the car gets older, you know, the car comes down to being worth, you know, the bottom of its values. You know, the smallest of accidents will write a car off. I've got, in fact, one of mine outside had a rear end, and that got written off, and there was very little damage. And having said that, you know, since 2015, it's obvious that the only thing that was done to this car was a new damper was put on it, and they left the rest of the damage, EI, the wing, the back panel, the cross member, and it's been driving around like that since 2015, so it's not really harmed it in any way, shape or form. There's, like I say, there's no structural damage at all, nothing on the twisted on the suspension or anything. I will have it four-wheel aligned. Again, it'll come with a top of the range service, C service, with a TerraClean as well, and fully valeted and detailed up. I will post more pictures in another video when it's done, and you know, there you go.